Hey guys, Elijah here from Retro Pocket. Code Vein 2 is finally real, and if you're thinking about buying it, I've got you covered. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 key things you should know before you spend your money, from story setup and combat changes to platforms, additions, and how Soulslike it actually feels. I'll talk about what's new compared to the first game, how the time travel hook works, what the partner system really does, and whether this is friendly to newcomers or mainly aimed at veterans. So, let's get started. Release date and platforms. Code Vein 2 is a fully confirmed sequel, not a rumor, and it's dropping on the 30th of January 2026 worldwide. It's launching on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam, so this one completely skips PS4 and Xbox One. If you go for the Deluxe, Ultimate, or Collector's Edition, you'll get up to 3 days of early access starting January 27th, 2026, which is nice if you want to get into the game before guides and spoilers flood the internet. Price-wise, it's a full-price AAA release at standard next-gen pricing, so you're not looking at some budget spin-off here. Basically, if you have a current-gen machine or a decent PC, you're good to go. Story setup and timeline. Code Vein 2 is set in a post-apocalyptic future where humanity is almost wiped out, and Revenants are all that's left standing between the world and complete collapse. A mysterious force called the Luna Rapacious has driven most Revenants insane, turning them into monstrous horrors that roam the ruins. You play as the Revenant Hunter, a new protagonist who isn't just here to swing a sword, but literally to mess with history and rewrite key moments in time. The game plays heavily with memories, loss, and fate, so it leans into the emotional anime drama tone the first game was known for, just with higher stakes and a wider timeline. Time travel and changing history. One of the biggest hooks in Code Vein 2 is that time itself is basically a weapon and a story mechanic. You team up with MagMell, a Revenant girl who literally brings you back with your own heart and gives you the power to move between past and present. Throughout the game, you'll jump into critical points in history, intervene in major battles or decisions, and change how certain Revenants' destinies play out. These alternate events aren't just fluff. They're meant to reveal hidden truths, unlock new information, and affect the future you return to. So if you like narrative choices that ripple through the world, this is a big selling point. Combat and Souls-like feel. Combat is still very much in that anime Souls-like space, but Code Vein 2 is trying to refine and expand what the first game did. You're still managing stamina, dodging and learning enemy patterns, and going up against tough bosses that punish greed. On top of that, you're using blood drained from your enemies to unlock powerful skills and build out your character with blood codes, which act like customizable class archetypes with different abilities and playstyles. Combat also leans into special weapon systems called Jails and Formae, giving you flashy finishers and unique forms to spice up the usual light-heavy attack loop. If you enjoyed the feel of Code Vein, this sequel is more about evolution than a complete reset. Partner system and co-op vibe. If you liked having a buddy in the first game, Code Vein 2 doubles down on that idea with a new partner system. You can fight alongside different partnered characters who each come with their own skills, personality, and story connections, and they're not just meat shields. They actually change how you approach encounters. There are 2 main modes: Summoning, where your partner fights independently to support you, and Assimilation, where you merge with them for boosted stats and powerful abilities. This creates a kind of suo co-op feel even if you're playing solo, and it lets you experiment with different pairings and builds. So if you hate pure solo Souls-like, this system might be a big reason to pick it up. New Jails and Formae abilities. Jails and Formae are basically the game's big flashy tools layered on top of your normal weapons and skills. Jails act like special equipment and finishers, letting you trigger unique moves with dramatic effects in combat. For example, the Hound Jail returns from the first game, summoning vicious spectral wolves that tear into enemies and drain their ichor, which fuels your abilities. There's also a new Reaper Jail that equips you with a huge scythe for sweeping attacks and counter-focused play, giving you a more stylish Grim Reaper vibe. Formae, meanwhile, expand your offensive and defensive options, with some bequeathed Formae summoning signature weapons like the Absolute Executioner, a massive greatsword built to deliver one brutal finishing blow. Character progression and build freedom. If you're into build crafting, Code Vein 2 is pushing pretty hard on that side of things. You've got a deep progression system that covers your characters, weapons, and abilities with blood codes acting like flexible classes that you can swap and tune. You can lean into heavy weapons and tanky stats, or go for nimble skill spammy styles by focusing on I-core driven abilities and lighter gear. Jails, Formae, and partner choices all layer on top of that, so your build isn't just stats, it's which finishing moves, transformations, and companions you rely on. If you enjoy tweaking loadouts and experimenting rather than walking into one class, this game is clearly built with that in mind. World design, exploration, and bosses. Code Vein 2 sticks to that exploration-heavy action RPG formula, with large interconnected environments and plenty of side paths and secrets. You'll travel across vast areas that shift between past and present states, so you're not just revisiting zones, you're seeing how they've changed or decayed over time. Along the way, you're facing challenging enemies and massive, unforgettable bosses designed to test both your build and your mastery of partner and Formae mechanics. The overall vibe is still that moody, ruined world aesthetic with heavy anime influence, but now framed around this collapsing timeline and the Luna rapacious threat. If you enjoy methodical exploration with high-stakes fights, this should hit those notes. Editions, pre-order bonuses, and content. Bandai Namco is going all in on multiple editions for Code Vein 2, so if you're a collector, pay attention to which one you're grabbing. The game is available in Standard, Deluxe, Ultimate, and Collector's Editions across PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. Higher tiered editions bundle extra digital content in that early access window, so you can dive in a few days before the official launch if you want a head start. The Collector's Edition also typically includes physical goodies, though exact regional contents could vary, so it's worth checking your local Bandai Namco site before pre-ordering. If you just care about the core game, Standard Edition still gives you the full experience without missing main gameplay features. Do you need to play Code Vein 1? Even though this is a direct follow-up to the 2019 game, Code Vein 2 is being pitched so both newcomers and returning fans can jump in. The story is set in the same universe, with returning ideas like Revenants, Blood, and the Ruined World. You're playing a new protagonist, the Revenant Hunter, in a new crisis centered on the Lunar Rapacious. If you've played the first game, you'll probably recognize certain concepts, callbacks, and probably appreciate how they expand on the lore. But you won't be completely lost if you start here, since the narrative is framed around fresh events, new characters like MagMell, and a standalone mission to rewrite history and save the future. So yeah, that's Code Vein 2 in a nutshell, and 10 big things I think you should know before you buy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button and let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I'm Elijah, and thanks for watching Retro Pocket.